I just wanted to acknowledge the first handful of people that entered the room. Hello, everyone. Welcome to It is a New Day on this beautiful Friday, November 7th. The voice that you hear is Dominique James. I was Councilmember Rubin's campaign manager. I'll simply be moving us through the conversation in this press conference today, but it's already 6 minutes after the hour. So we want to dive in. We have over 50 people from across Aurora already in the line. I see more people in the waiting room. So let's not waste any more time. Just to give you a quick idea of how this press conference will run, I want to give you a few little housekeeping notes and nuggets. Then, most importantly, you're going to hear from Aurora's new council members elect. We also want to spotlight and highlight some community members and voices so you not only understand the work that the former candidates did, but also for the reporters on the line in particular, what the community was saying, how they were feeling leading up to this really, really historic win. Most importantly, we'll open it up to Q&A. So that Q&A is open to everyone. So if you do have any questions for the council members elect, that will be the appropriate time to do it. I ask that you use the chat. If you're available, we'll be tracking that. We will also create some time and space for folks to raise hands if that's a little bit better for you. And then last but not least, we will tell you what is next on the horizon for the Aurora Council. I do want to highlight and flag that today's conversation, this press conference, is recorded. I will also note, in particular, for some of the community members, Aurora residents on the line, that media are in attendance in this conference call. So anything you say or text, just know that that is what we call on the record for them to use. So we ask that you be appropriate, respectful, keep it clean, but also share what made these election results so exciting. So without further ado, in case you haven't heard, People First candidates flipped the Aurora City Council. Previously, the Aurora City Council was a 7-3 conservative majority. Effective December 1st, after everyone's sworn in, it will be a 6-4 progressive majority. But more than any political labels, the leaders who will be sworn in, they are People First candidates. And we just want to highlight a little bit of why they won and how they won. It took collaboration, compassion, and courage, first of all. Two, as they begin to introduce themselves, and if you haven't met them, this will be your chance to do it, you will see that they really represent the full diversity of Aurora. So from mid-career to early retirees, they are new parents, grandparents, entrepreneurs, teachers, parents, social workers, Black, white, Latino, multicultural. They really represent the diversity of not only Aurora, but America. And we know that is why so many community members and residents and voters overwhelmingly supported these candidates because they felt heard and seen for the first time in a while. So here are some of the kind of broader secrets to success. And then you'll hear the candidates share some of their own secrets to success. But it first took belief. So if you're not familiar with the Aurora political landscape, over the past few years, Republicans, again, and conservatives had not only invested hundreds of millions of dollars, but it had been a majority conservative council. And so, especially coming out of last year's election results, the 2024 election, there was this atmosphere of discouragement and lack of hope. So what you'll hear is that a lot of these candidates first had the belief that they could win and there was something better from Aurora and not a lot of the lies and rhetoric that were going and being spread about the city. Number two, not only were these candidates underdogs, but you will see that they were outraised. So collectively, these candidates raised $125,000 compared to over $850,000 raised and spent by conservatives. So they were against a lot of adversity and there's a lot of things working against them. However, These candidates, again, through collaboration, they knocked on over 35,000 doors across Aurora, and that's just amongst our own efforts. And they collaborated with other aligned organizations such as the Aurora Education Association, excuse me, leaders in labor, climate, and other progressive orgs who also had the belief that there was a better way to move in Aurora. And lastly, what you'll see, and this will be highlighted in some of the community voices, there is a lot of grassroots energy that cannot and should not be ignored. So the community was motivated to restore Aurora's reputation and elect leaders who they felt better represented the people in the city. So that is a very high level story, if you will, of how these people first candidates ran and won. But we'll have you tell their own stories. So I first want to welcome Council Member Elect Janina Horton of Ward 1 to talk about what happened, how they won in flip, or excuse me, and how they won that seat. So Janina, I'll spotlight you.
All right.
Take it away.
Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Good morning. I am Janina Horton. I am council member elect for Ward 1, best ward in all of Aurora, and I will always stand on business. Thank you for all the celebration. What do you call those emojis coming up? It is beautiful week. It is a beautiful time in our country of hope, of recognizing that hope is much more stronger than fear, than apathy. And though we have a long way to go to make sure that Aurorians are safe, well, and are truly thriving, I am confident in everyone's ability here that's going to be serving on council to do the hard work because we have done that for several months, and this is only the beginning. So, I'd like to share a little bit about why I ran, the golden question that all candidates were asked at some point, or at least multiple times. And I ran fundamentally because I love Ward 1. I love Aurora. I love what we stand for and what our potential is, and the beauty of diversity, of recognizing that we have so much strength in who we are and in our communities, and we need to tap into that, and the potential to grow, the potential to support all those who have called Aurora home for their whole lives, for decades, and even for weeks is vitally important, and the progression of our city. And so, in terms of the story of my race, well, I believe we started at, if I remember correctly, 7 people interested in running, and all folks who wanted to serve Ward 1 and had various different platforms, and truly respect the campaigns that each ran. And I do want to thank Reed Heddick and Stephen Elkins for their campaigns, for putting their names out there. I know this wasn't easy, and really appreciate community members who do step up and who choose to lead, and that it is, regardless of political parties, that we're here to serve all people. And so thank them for that. And the secret to, I guess, success is what we were asked to talk about, is showing up. I mean, it is as simple as that. Showing up, when I was calling folks that last day on the election day, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I remember talking to you at your door. Have you turned in your ballot?" And it's remembering people, it's listening, it's hearing what their concerns are, connecting them to resources. It is truly being a public servant and showing up when it's hard, all the way to when we get to celebrate. And so I thank everyone for their contributions to running a hard campaign, running grassroots campaign, all the folks who've donated, knocked doors, even those who liked my posts from afar, right? It all matters. And then lastly, vision for city council, especially moving into the new year, is evaluating how do we evaluating past ordinances and policy and changes to make sure that harm to communities is mitigated, and moving forward with the vision that is collective, that is co-designed, and that works for all. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Janina. I now want to introduce Council Member-elect for Ward 2, Amy Wiles. Amy, take it away.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Amy Wiles. I'm a 25-year resident of Aurora. I raised my two sons here. My oldest son now has a daughter. She's 2.5, and they are raising her here. And so I'm excited to be in this position to sort of help shape the future of Aurora and especially Ward 2, the best ward in the city and the largest, FYI. So as far as work, I work in strategy in a healthcare organization, which I think helped me a lot in as I approached this campaign and trying to figure out how to get things done. I also own a small business. So I do photography on the side as well. And then I volunteer extensively within the community. I chair the city's Human Relations Commission, which will now have openings. So if anybody is interested, please sign up and we would love to get you appointed and get you moving on that particular commission. I also volunteer for the Community Advisory Council for the consent decree, which is where I met Janina and some other people. So another awesome opportunity to get involved with our community if you're interested in doing that. But before I go much further, I do need to acknowledge a conversation and part of the reason as to why I decided to run. A few years ago, after Elijah McClain was murdered, I attended a NAACP meeting. And in that meeting, I was paired in a community group with Shanine McClain. And talking to her and listening to her and realizing that I too have two sons that live in the community and I want them to be safe really helped me to kind of step up a little bit in terms of my engagement and figure out that there had to be additional ways to get involved and that community voices needed to be heard. And so as I move forward, I live in Ward 2. We have large infrastructure gaps. We don't have services and amenities that we need in order to live full, active lives. And so all of these things sort of came together, and that was why I decided to run. My campaign was run on those core values of community first, collaboration within community and nonprofits, and the change that we need to push our city forward, changing that false narrative that we're overrun by gangs. We all know that we are not. We're an amazing city with awesome community members, and trying to bring back community voices, which I felt the previous council people were silencing. And so that is why we stepped up to run. My campaign, of course, faced the same challenges that everybody on the call will talk about. Financially, we were outraised, but what we lacked in money, we made up for in our amazing volunteers, in our commitment to community, and our willingness to go out and speak to people. And I think that was the most important thing. There is not a conversation that I won't have. Whether we agree on everything or not, it doesn't matter. We still need to talk. And so that is what I promise all of my Ward 2 community members and the city as a whole. If you want to talk, please reach out to me. Communication is everything. I think we've seen that our inability to do some things that we need to within the community and the city as a whole goes back to the lack of communication, and we're not going to do that anymore. That's not something that us as leaders are going to stand for anymore. So as far as what my vision is for the community, for the city, for Ward 2, we while I love gas station hot dogs at times, we are going to get our community members a grocery store so that they can actually eat healthy food and shop and not have to travel 9 miles away. We're going to look at things like rec centers to keep our youth busy and engaged and out of trouble. Libraries and reading are so important to help our students. And so those are some of the basic things we're going to look at. And I can't wait to work with my fellow city council people when we're all sworn in. And I look forward to answering any questions you have. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Amy. I now want to spotlight not only we have incoming council members, but re-elected council members as well. So I want to introduce Council Member Ruben Medina to talk about his race and what happened there.
Thank you, Dominic. So again, nobody does this in a vacuum and by themselves. So, I want to congratulate all the community members, sort of my campaign manager, Dominique, all the volunteers from Megan to Aaron to Kirk, and then many others who helped get out the canvassing, walking, lit, variety of jobs. Without them, we don't exist. I don't exist. Uh, yeah, as you know, the first time I ran, it was pretty close. So I think I had 134 votes I won by. So it had to go all the way till the Friday before I actually knew that I had to won. So it was a tough contest the first time. This time I wanted to make sure that we put a stamp on it. And so, I won by 65% of the vote this round. So there was nothing left for the other side to fight me with. And I knew my special sauce is always, excuse me, what I do, which is in community. I'm very community oriented. So, out of about 400 some calls that I've had for issues or concerns, I went to 95% of those in person. I met the people at their homes or at a location. We talked about the issues and concerned, and we helped them to solve those problems. And that's what makes it uh, successful, I think, is that they have to see us and we have to be present. We shouldn't be hiding behind an office or a desk. That's why personally I give everybody my cell phone number so they can contact me at any moment with any issues or concerns. And so I take that very, very serious. As we said, everybody had, the same issues around money and just people in general. And so I'm proud that we all came together as a coalition. And I've always said, as a coach, coming from a coaching aspect, I think I was the more senior person there, obviously, and usually, I have a lot of new people. I kind of attribute to like with wrestling when he coached there, you have people coming in with varied skills, levels, and various attributes. And so my thing is that we're as strong as our weakest link. And so collectively, that's why I wanted to make sure is that we helped each other so that we all successful. And as it shows, when we come together as a whole, the community, not only do we succeed, but the community succeeds. And so, some of the things that I want to continue is to definitely bring back the uh, comments for community, for public to be heard, as I think that's vital. We have to have that communication between us and the community. That's their opportunity, some to see us, some not. But again, I will continue to be out in community as an individual as well, because I want them to know who I am. I also want to understand who they are. I'm going to be working hard on mental health for youth, as we know in the recent shooting a few weeks ago with a young man, 17-year-old, that got killed by APD. I want to make sure that those things don't happen and that we approach those in a different manner. Having been in public service myself as a fireman and EMT, and I understand that aspect. I see that, and I think it's about how we approach things. And I want to make sure that we have the tools and we're equipped to better handle those situations going forward. The other piece is our elderly population. I want to make sure that they can stay in place if they own homes and have all the resources they need to connect. I want to create some opportunities for a youth empowerment center that I hope to now pass through. And then we want to also have some multi-generational activities going on there. So there's a melding of young people and older people to get together and help each other. And then lastly, an economic engine. So I'm still working. I just had some conversations later this morning with some other entities who are interested from outside other states and other counties about potentially bringing in a minor league team to build a stadium here to bring some more economic opportunities for our unions and other community members, and then housing as well with that. So with that, I will turn it over. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ruben. And if you've heard, it was a 5-seat flip. And so I do want to introduce our phenomenal at-large council members elect. I'll start with you, Allie Jackson.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. It's a true honor. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes. We
Okay,
can hear
great.
you.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. I was having a little bit of mic issues, but okay. It's a true honor to stand here as your at-large Aurora City Council member elect. And I'm going to use my spotlight today to reflect that light back onto the community that made this moment possible. Before I decided to run. I was a resident. I've lived in Aurora for 30 years, my entire life. And I wanted a dog park and I wanted a stronger sense of community. And I was always politically active with my background in social work. That's how I've been trained. That's just where I gravitate as a person. And council members Allison Coombs and Crystal Murillo saw me as a community member first and believed in me before I ever launched this campaign. So thank you both. I really have to shout out the community partners that we worked with that helped us along this race, including Heather over at Vanishing West Ciders off of East Colfax, right across from the MLK Library. Heather has opened her doors to us for campaign events. So if you're ever on East Colfax area, please stop by and support Vanishing West Ciders. This was a grassroots effort, like many of my colleagues have explained, and we needed to fundraise. And people like Kristen and Michael Mallory Resterberg stepped up and hosted fundraisers. One of my most successful fundraisers, however, was during Pride Month at my home, and it was co-hosted by Allison Coombs and Ruthie Knowles, a former Cherry Creek School Board member. And we had the incredible Lala, the drag queen. So got to shout out Lala, the drag queen, along with the broader LGBTQ plus community because they showed up and they showed out in our race. Thank you to Congressman Jason Crow, Conservation Colorado, the Denver Area Labor Federation, and unions who knocked doors and stood with this campaign. A special thank you to Aurora Education Association, Brian, Ian, and Viraj. Your support meant everything. To our team, Lindsay Rasmussen with Hilltop, Dominique James with Politics for Purpose, Jasmine Ross with Coco Consultant. Thank you for your dedication behind the scenes as well, and sometimes even in front of the scenes. To my family who has stood behind me this entire time, my parents, my siblings, my older sister who blessed my kickoff when this all started back in March, and reminded everybody that if you want to go fast, then go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. And I have kept that near and dear, that sentiment near and dear to my heart throughout this entire campaign, and it shows. To every volunteer who knocked a door, made a call, talked to their neighbors, this is your win too. This isn't about us. This is about you and the community. We made history with a record-breaking turnout. And this is proof that when you give people something to believe in, they will show up and they will vote. And we flipped all 5 seats, as has been mentioned. And speaking of hometown heroes, shout out to Kirk Manzanera, who I consider our unofficial campaign cheerleader. To our immigrant neighbors, Latinos, Asians, Palestinians, Russians, and beyond, I want you to know that Aurora is your home. You belong here, and please tell me how I can show up for you in this work. And I'll close with this. On Tuesday, from New York to Virginia to California, and right here in Aurora, Colorado, voters showed up and they chose community over division. They chose working together. They chose to believe in something bigger. So now it's time to get to work in the city that I call home. And I'll leave it at that because that's the community that brought me to the spot right now. Peace and love.
Excellent. That was beautiful, Allie. And last but certainly not least, as you hear from all of the Aurora Council-elect, I want to spotlight Mr. Rob Andrews, the second at-large council member-elect. Take it away, Rob. We can see you.
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I want to thank everybody that's on the call. And I personally want to thank everyone that has partnered with us because this is unprecedented and we don't normally have to partner together, but we have some great folks with Allie and Amy and Janina and Ruben, and everybody that's a part of this and wanted. I mean, this doesn't happen very often. Obviously, it's historic, and I appreciate all the work that we've done together. Dominique, Lindsay, everyone that showed up and showed out for Aurora. This is not a win for me personally. This is a win for Aurora, and so I want to make that clear that we're here to serve. So when we show up in January, it's about service. This is about how we can support everybody in Aurora. And we have some times that we have some things going on in Aurora City Council where we're going to have to change. And I don't want to get too lofty about expectations. What I want to do is make sure that we're all able to have a conversation and we all show up and we don't stop showing up because we don't want this to change. So I appreciate everyone that's here. We did this together, and that's what this election was about. This election was not about being divisive. This election was about people coming together to end what we have just saw. People demonizing our city and our community. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that everybody loves our city. They have a place where they can work, love, and play all day long. And that's what we've experienced, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you.
Excellent. Very, very powerful, Rob. As I'm sure you all have heard, that community was a really big theme, if you will, in this race. And so these leaders would not be where they are. There would not be a five-seat flip, if you will, without the power of community and grassroots energy. And so we do want to quickly spotlight two community voices that literally represents the hundreds and thousands of people who help make this possible. So first, I want to call Kirk, who is reporting live, if you will, from what we have affectionately called Victory Row on the corner of Alameda and Sable, where all of our yard signs are. Kirk, let me see if I can find you and hear you. Are you there, sir? We may have lost Kirk temporarily, but I want to introduce Jasmine Ross, who was Janina Horton's campaign manager, to talk a little bit more about the community movement. So, Jasmine, as I find Kirk, please take it away.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Oh,
Yeah.
can you guys hear me?
Yes, and see you.
Okay, perfect. So sorry. So good morning, everyone. My name is Jasmine Ross, or you can call me Jasmine. I had the pleasure working with Miss Janina Horton as her campaign manager. So thank you all for joining us today. As we heard from our newly elected council members and our re-elected council member, this race was built on the principle of putting the people first. From grassroots organizing to mobilizing with unions and knocking on doors with volunteers, we created a movement powered not by money, but by the passion and dedication of the people who believed in change for Aurora. And so, what truly was inspiring about this election was seeing the power in the community, was seeing the power the community had when coming together. And so we witnessed firsthand that our votes do matter. And I will say this again, we witnessed firsthand with this election that our votes do matter and that we all can help to make a difference when we unite. So seeing this transformation we achieved in Aurora from a conservative council to one that prioritizes community is a powerful statement that voters' voices made. And so as we continue to celebrate this achievement, I think it's important to take this time to introduce Kirk if he is around, an Aurora resident and just an amazing supporter for all of us. From day one, he was telling all of us that we were going to flip and win all these 5 seats, and he did not lie. So Kirk, if you are around, please introduce yourself and just share with us your thoughts of the turnout from this election.
Okay, Kirk, go ahead and unmute yourself. Let me see if I can start your video for you. I see you, but it doesn't look like I can spotlight you. And if you need a second, I know you are live out in the city. We can go to Danielle and then come back to you. I'll give you just one more second to see if you can unmute. Okay, Jasmine, why don't you introduce Danielle, and then we will go to Kirk. I can spotlight.
I think I heard him.
It could be with me. Kirk, you're up.
Hi, my
Okay.
name is Kirk Manzanares. I'm a longtime resident of Aurora, 56 years, and I've always dreamed of this. And although I know sometimes I pushed really hard, but I did it because I really believed in each and every one of these candidates. I knew that we could do this. I continued to stay positive, and whenever I heard somebody talk about that these candidates didn't have a chance, I said, we will win all 5 seats. And I stuck with that. I got a little bit sick for a couple of months in June and July. And I kind of stepped back on purpose because I wanted the candidates to to gain their own identity and move on with their campaign and get organized and get set up. And we did it. We did it, man. Um, I come from a family where it's okay. It's okay, Paul. It's okay. I come from a family where I had 4 sisters and 2 brothers. Now I have many, many brothers and sisters. We work together as a community. I'm here at Victory Row, and we're going to leave this up until Friday next week. And then we're all going to show back up. We're going to clean up the trash. We're going to take down the signs, and we're going to store them because we're moving on. The new blue wave in Aurora is moving on to 2026 and on to 2027. And let me tell you, the stain on the city that Danny J and Trump did, we're going to repair that. We're going to fix it. And we're going to work really hard for the next 3 years to make sure we're going after 6 seats in 27. And we're going to make it happen. And I love you all. I believe in you all. And I'm so friggin' happy. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody in Aurora that was a part of this. We couldn't have done it without all the Molly volunteers. I have many, many brothers and sisters now. And here's Billy Boy for mayor 2027. Thank you, guys. Guys, have a
Excellent.
great day.
Thank you, Kirk. We appreciate you. And as you can see, it's hard. It makes the hard work easy and fun when you have a community like Kirk and also like Billy Boy, who's our official campaign mascot. So let me go ahead and mute Kirk. And Jasmine, do you want to introduce Danielle? I'll go ahead and spotlight, or we can just jump into Danielle.
Awesome. Yes. Danielle is another amazing Aurora resident that truly helped us with our campaign, all of our campaigns. So Danielle, please share with us what was this feeling like for you and seeing the results on Tuesday night?
Yes, can everybody hear me okay? I'm in a crowded
Yes.
cafe. Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. I just want to say that I walked away with so much hope, and it's been a rough year. And to witness such an extraordinary win for our city, for our working people, it has just warmed my heart in ways that I'm sure everyone can relate to. I just want to give a huge shout out to the Aurora NAACP, Colorado Black Women for Political Action, Justice for Black Coloradans, the YASPA, Young Aspiring Americans for Social and Political Activism, and of course, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. We collaborated to create community forums that had excellent turnout. We saw that candidate forum at the Aurora Community College that actually had like 80 to 100 people in attendance that came to hear all of these wonderful candidates who were running for school board in Cherry Creek and running for city council in Aurora and Centennial. I believe that we got those wins because community turned out. And it's so important to go to these organizations, to go and meet people where they are so they can hear from you. And I want to say this, all of the people who showed up won their election. All the people on this call who won their election showed up to those community forums. I went to the Heather Gardens forum. Our seniors who are so active in community and just getting people out to vote and educating voters. Again, another amazing turnout. There's a reason why we were successful, and it's because of people like Kurt and old Billy Boy. We appreciate all the enthusiasm, all the action of the volunteers. I mean, so much work went into this, but we couldn't have done it without excellent candidates who had a message that the people were able to connect with. Your message and your work is the reason why we were successful on Tuesday night. And so we owe that. We owe you guys. Please pat yourselves on the backs because you did the work and you showed up. And some of these folks, it wasn't their first time running. Some folks had run before and didn't win and came back to run. That's why it's been so important not to give up because the American people, the people in Arapahoe County and in our community were ready for this. And I'm Danielle Young-Combo. I don't know if you know, but I'm the political chair of the Aurora NAACP. I'm also the vice president of the League of Women Voters of Colorado. And I sit on the advisory board for the 1A committee for Arapahoe County. And so it's a really a group effort. It was a team effort. And that's why we were able to come together and see this success. So I thank everybody who showed up and who will be showing up. We got to remember in 2026 to support the next generation of leaders and getting good people reelected to their offices.
Beautiful. Thank you so much to Danielle and Kirk and the community for getting out and voting and supporting all of our campaigns. Everyone's dedication made an impact, and I just want to quickly remind the community that ongoing engagement is crucial. And so please keep staying involved. What we were able to see on election night exemplifies what engagement looks like, and we can achieve this again for Aurora. And so, Dominique, I will hand it back over to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And with that, can everyone see my screen? We want to start the Q&A portion of today's conversation. Actually, let me just take down the slide and I will just open it up to I'll just keep it in gallery view. So I first ask that if you are media in attendance, feel free to use the chat. Jasmine will monitor that, or raise your hand, and I will call on you. I also do want to do a courtesy reminder one more time for community members that this conversation is being recorded, so any comments, etc., can be used by the media. But I do see that Jennifer Stratman raised your hand, so I will call on you first.
Hi, my
And if
name
you
is
don't mind
Jennifer. Yep,
letting us know where you're from as well, just since I can't see everyone. Go ahead.
absolutely. Jennifer Stratman here from Ward 2. And first and foremost, I'm so excited to have Amy in my corner. I've had no success getting any help from City Council to get, like, we have a bridge that needs replacement. We have no sidewalks leading in and out of our community. I've done all that on my own, so now I'm really excited to have help. But one of the big things I'm working on right now is animal welfare and animal abuse laws and backyard breeding laws. So if anybody on council would like to speak with me about that, I have a lot of ideas that I've been working on for over a year. And again, no help from the city council to get these things addressed. I do have unofficial support from the shelter staff to get some of these things passed. So that's something big. So if anybody's interested, or if anybody on council has that already on their docket, please let me know so that we can pool our resources and ideas and get something passed for our fur children and hopefully have some better laws in place to protect them. And I think that's it for now. If anybody wants to talk to Amy about the situation at Station 60 on Airport and Colfax, we're having a lot of issues there with Quick Trip trying to monopolize the market and take an empty lot and turn it into this eighth gas station or eighth car wash in like a mile. So
Okay.
we'd really like some help with that too. So
Okay.
that's all I have to say for now, but thank you for your time
Okay.
and congratulations to everybody.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for the comment, Jennifer. I love the passion and just the range of issues. Amy, if you want to briefly speak to that, fine. And I do see some reporter questions that I want to make sure we get to as well with the 15 minutes we have left. So please take it away and comment.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, Jennifer and I have connected, and as I've promised, I'll be talking to the rest of our council members elect about this situation that's happening on Colfax with that car wash situation. And we'll continue to work on things together, Jennifer. I appreciate you being in touch with me. And we're going to work together. We're going to fix a lot of the things that are happening. And so we'll make sure to connect further shortly.
Okay. Excellent. I see a comment in the chat. Kyla, I'm going to come to you. Let me get the hands off of the screen so it's not distracting to me. Joel G, if you're media, I want to invite you to go ahead and answer your question. Okay, if you're not, I'll come back to you, but feel free to also put your comment in the chat. I see Gabrielle. If you're media, I want to invite you to come off chat, ask your question. If you are a community member, we'll hold space for you. Just put your comment in the chat so we don't lose you. But I know that a lot of our media friends and partners work on deadlines. So I want to make sure that they get their questions answered so that they can go and write a story about how powerful this was. So Gabrielle Franklin, if you are media, I want to invite you to come off chat.
Thanks so much. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hey, this is Gabrielle Franklin with Fox 31. Just had two quick questions. First question is where were Kirk and Billy Boyd going live from? Because I may need to use that for a live shot location.
Excellent. So they are right on the corner of Alameda and Sable. almost cat-a-corner to the Municipal Center. We've affectionately called that corridor now Victory Row. You can't miss it. If you drive down Alameda heading east, you will see lots and lots of yard signs, many of which Kirk put up himself. I know I joined him 10 o'clock at night putting down yard signs. So it was now called Victory Row. But Alameda and Sable is where you can find him.
Got it. Thank you for that. And then
Yes.
on a bit more of a serious note, have any of the newly elected members heard from the mayor? And if so, what have those conversations been like? And how do you all expect the dynamics to kind of play out between the new members and the mayor?
Uh, Councilmember Rubin, if you don't mind, I'd love for you to address that. We do know that Mayor Kaufman did a Facebook post, but I believe it's probably most appropriate for Rubin to speak of what, if anything else, has happened beyond that. So, Rubin, are you able to answer that?
Uh, I know he hasn't reached out to me personally, so I'm not really sure if he's reached out to the others there. I mean, we're trying to reach out to all of the, current council members to kind of let them know. Myself and Councilmember Coombs are reaching out just to kind of let them know, what our stance is, so to speak, and how, the new group of people are coming together. That we want to, stop a lot of that bickering that we've been seeing for the past years. And, we're working on some of the things that I saw in the chat about, the decorum piece of that, is that we got to have some sense of decorum. And so I'm looking at, seeing some ways that we can look into having some more teeth around decorum from council and making sure that, we're respecting each other. But then there's also consequences if people are falling out of line with that. And so I'll be working with Councilmember Coombs on that, and certainly with this group here. But like anything, I think it's something new, it's something different, right? And we'll see how they all handle it, in the conversations in the months to come. I'm hopeful is that we can start to create some dialogues and understandings so that we can, make the things that we need to do, changes that we need to make in our community, so that we everybody feels safe, right? That's the big issue. The other is the transparency, the city communication. I mean, I can go a bucket list of tons of things that we need to change, but I think we need to be strategic and go after all these things, one at a time, and go after that and make sure that we have a robust set of ordinances and things that are conducive to our community and building relationships back in our community.
Excellent. And quickly, I'll just call on all of the council members elect. I like saying it. If you just to acknowledge whether or not you've heard from your opponent. So, Amy, you can just do yes, no if you've received it. Okay. Allie, I'm just calling you in the order on my screen. Allie, if you've heard from your former opponents.
I've heard from one from Casa, sent me a text message.
Okay. Rob?
No.
No. I do know Kasa's reached out, and I think just coordinating schedules, but I would say Kasa's been proactive. Janina?
Yes, both emailed me.
Okay. And Ruben, if you've heard from persons.
No.
Okay. I hope that answered your question, Gabrielle. Okay. Next, I see a hand raised, Colleen. Colleen, if you're media, I do want to acknowledge you, invite you to come off mute. If you're a community member, drop your comment in the chat so we don't forget you, and we'll circle back to you. So, Colleen, I see your hand raised. And then Kyla, you're coming next.
I put my question in the chat because I am not media.
Okay, excellent. We love you still. I just want to make sure we're working on their very tight deadlines.
Exactly.
I
The love
do.
is returned.
Excellent. I do.
And I just,
Go ahead, Lindsay. Yes. Oop, okay. I do see a question from Kyla Pierce with the Denver Gazette. This is to everyone. Would love to hear from each candidate what your first priority will be when you're sworn in December. And we can do a round robin. Who's on my screen first? Ruben, I will spotlight you, and then I'll work in the order I see on my screen.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, one of the first things that I plan to do is to certainly nominate Councilmember Coombs for Mayor Pro Tem. partly because that's a vital position, because they're the ones that assign all the committees that we're assigned to. In the past 4 years, most of us have been assigned to the same committees. We haven't been able to be on public safety. We haven't been able to be on PNL. We haven't been able to be on a lot of the uh, other areas, business aspects. So, we want to make sure that we're represented in those as well, because I think we all have different perspectives and our voices need to be heard as well. And so that's one of the first things I will be doing is making that motion and supporting Councilmember Coombs.
Lovely. Amy, I'm spotlighting you. Go ahead.
Hi, so the first thing, and I think the easiest thing we need to do is address public invited to speak. The little 2 minutes that they get to talk right now really is sort of an insult to the community and their voices. And so I think we can quickly get rid of that. And then a longer term goal, but I think is important in mentioning, is returning domestic violence cases back to the city. That move did a disservice to the victims, and we need to think again about our community members, and that means taking care of them here in our city.
Excellent. Allie, you are next. Let me spotlight you.
Okay. Um, So, things that I've thought about are public trash and bathrooms for our unhoused folks or anybody who just needs access to public restrooms, because I know that puts a lot of pressure on business owners and the cleanliness of our streets and things like that. So, I want to hold true to that promise. I really want to work together with Ward 1. That's where I'm a resident. And there's a lot of diversity. There's been mentions in the chat about the ICE detention center and just making sure that we're following the laws when it comes to overreach and things of that nature. So the immigrant community really does live truly in my heart. So just making sure that we're protecting them and making them feel belonged. And I agree. I mean, I'm going to agree with most of the things that my colleagues say because we have been on this campaign trail. So public invite to be heard, getting the power balanced back onto different commissions. And I'm also open. I really want more community engagement. As a homegrown Aurora resident, it was very intimidating engaging with city council. So I want to break down some of those barriers, whether that's even creating these spaces for public to be heard out in community. How can we just continue to engage this community, bring this energy, and let people know their voice is heard? They should be talking to their city council.
Excellent. Very powerful. Janina, you are next on my screen. Let me spotlight you.
All right, thank you. So I am thinking about this in two categories. There's what's the most, there's things that are already in motion that need to be addressed. So, for example, given our consent decree, I heard conversations that were being had around independent civilian oversight. Would love to plug and play regarding where the city leadership is considering looking at and providing some real input of what accountable policing looks like here in Aurora moving forward. The second piece to that first category is looking at the mandatory minimum jail sentences and repealing it. Simply put, and then second category, it's visioning. What does community want? When I was at the doors, I heard a lot of concerns about the day-to-day ways in which the city wasn't showing up, from responsiveness to wanting to address speeding. And so I am committed to holding a end of year town hall in December. So stay tuned for details on that for Ward 1, so we can all get together and think through what does the next year and years look like coming forth, and really have a space for community to share what they want and what they dream Ward 1 needs and could look like. And so, yeah, so that's a few things I'm considering.
Excellent. And Rob.
Uh, Absolutely. I think the consent decree is right up the number one priority for me to look at how we can work on that and make sure that we can make policing a little bit different in Aurora through community policing. And the second thing would be recruiting businesses that can do registered apprenticeships in Aurora and making sure that our residents have the ability to buy a house and live with a livable wage.
All right. Excellent. We are almost at time. I do want to just call briefly on Scott Brown. I see you have a request to present. I've never seen that before. So if you don't mind just commenting in the chat what that is all about, I'd appreciate it just so we can acknowledge you. Last but certainly not least, what is next? Hopefully everyone can see my screen. So first and foremost, on behalf of all of these amazing council members elect, we want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for not losing hope. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your dollars, your time, your energy, your support, your words of encouragement. It all brought us here to today. What will be immediately next for all of us? We do plan on attending the first in-person council meeting at City Hall in the better part of a year. So that will be November 17th at 6:45 p.m. We invite all of community to show up. The city, I would almost say, is officially back open. But more importantly, it's a new day, it's a new chapter. And I do believe that Aurora is in really good hands with these leaders who put people first. So with that, what I will do, team, since we are at time and didn't get to some of the community comments, I will save the recording and we can just go through offline and address some of those comments. But thank you as well for the community members not only showing up during the campaign, but showing up here to celebrate. And thank you in advance for all of the ideas. I've just skimmed some of them of what you have and your priorities. So I know that you are heard. And more importantly, I know these leaders will take action. So we have 3 minutes left. If there are any final either reporter questions or community questions, I want to invite you to speak up now. If not, we will consider this at least first virtual press conference complete. Rep. Jamie Jackson, yes. I see you raised your hand.
Hi. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to congratulate all 5 of our city council members. It really is a true testament of the power to the people. The people hold the power in order to make the changes that we want to see in our communities. And I'm just so thankful and grateful for each one of you and for everyone who contributed to this effort. I also serve as the House District Rep in Aurora, and I am the Criminal Justice Chair for the Aurora NAACP. And so I am really glad to hear that you all are already thinking about how we can have more
beyond my ability to.
More accountability with our consent decree and wanting to see some changes there. And also, how do we uplift our immigrant community members as well? And I serve on the Transportation, Housing, and Local Government Committee at the Capitol. And so I'm really looking forward to collaborating with all of you in order to uplift our community and make Aurora the best place to live. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative, and thank you for your service as well as hosting, I think, our second to last, if I remember, Canvas Council or Canvas Kickoff, which was a phenomenally powerful day. I do want to say for media, again, this is recorded. We will share the recording out after it's processed in case you need more quotes, but I'm sure you were recording yourself. Mr. Juan Marcano, I see your hand up. It looks like you might have our final words, so make it good.
All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations again to all y'all. I just have a question for you all. This year's elections are a dramatic departure from previous cycles. There was incredibly high turnout and incredibly high enthusiasm, and I just want to give you all the credit you deserve for not losing hope. Because that is something I cannot say for myself if I'm being completely honest. So I wanted to ask you, will you all commit to using your unprecedented win to ask the people of Aurora to move our elections to coincide with presidential and midterm elections going forward to ensure that our city council will more accurately represent the will of the majority of the people that we know live in our city going forward?
I see some head nods, and for community members.
I'm all in favor.
For community members who may not know that, Aurora's local elections are an odd number of years. Most people are used to voting in even number of years. I will selfishly say, as a manager, it makes life a little easier to do all the work the same year. But it looks like I see a lot of head nods that they're committed to making, frankly, it easier for and more convenient for residents to communicate. I actually think this is a great last comment. I see Miss Melissa Garland, Chair of Arapahoe Board. So are you able to come off mute? I see your hand raised. If there's anything else that you would like to add, I'll let you have the final word as we all close, just to respect everyone's time. Go ahead, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you, Dominique. I want to make sure that the staff who helped these campaigns also gets a shout out, Dominique and Lindsay, and I'm sorry,
Jasmine.
Janina's campaign manager as well. Thank you so much. You guys did a great job. Um, this was the county's first foray into putting more than just sweat equity into nonpartisan elections. We spent money this year, and we are so glad we did. And the reason that we decided to do that and could do that is because of the tremendous caliber of candidates we had this year. Very easy to support you, but we wanted to support you because we knew that if we just let the electorate know who you are and what you stood for, that we would win. And so it was our huge pleasure to help in this race, but really it was the staff, the volunteers, and these hardworking candidates themselves that got us this win. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you again for recognizing all the people behind the scenes, many of whom are on this call. I will also say, as we conclude, Jasmine Ross and Lindsay Messerson, it was an honor working with you, winning with you, and I know that Aurora's best days are ahead. So with that, consider this press conference officially over. We will share out the recording not only to media, but also to communities. So you can help share it with everyone else so that they get as excited as we are for these candidates and, or I should say, council members elect. So happy Friday, everyone. Have a good afternoon. And we will be in your inboxes shortly and at City Hall on November 17th. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.